Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous. My adventures. We're going to go out and look for raw materials. Sys ship. Sys ship. A big cloud. And we'll recall it when we're ready to recall it. Looking for raw materials. And polonium. Yeah, I saw polonium out here the last time I was here. I don't remember seeing it out here before. It's just dark. We're just out roaming. This is a lot more relaxing. Yeah, I've cut back on my resolution because my graphics card was having so many issues. See if there's a stronger signal over here. No, it's about the same as it is over here. And that ship that's flying over Dav's Hope is causing those upper levels. Especially over here, we'll get closer to the crater. There's this huge crater over here. And over there we'll probably see more of the poloniums. See how close this one is. There's one there and one there. This one's probably a little closer. It's how narrow the signal is. And there's some upper level blips too. And that's usually skimmers and stingers guarding a crash site or a crash satellite or something like that. And it's just not worth it. I'd rather do bounty hunting than that. So watch my bounty hunting in res sites, RES, resource extraction sites. Sulfur's at 78. It's pretty far away. See about this one over here. It's not as far away. Let's try this one. And the mountain looks kind of creamy when you have it set to lower resolution. And I can't afford a new video card, so it doesn't get quite as hot if I go with a lesser resolution. Is this view? I'm outside. I was outside for a minute. Sys view. There's an outcrop right there. Like it's closer to Dab's Hope. So we'll probably go back and forth between raw materials and manufactured materials for a little bit. Because we need both. And the targeting can't even get close to staying on the target. It's just so far off. 1, 2, that'd take about 2 or 3 minutes before it could finally get back there. Yeah, some of the technology in this game is worse than 2020 technology. It's just awful. It's that pirate technology, I guess. Because everything is pirate oriented. They're bad. Really shameful. And there's something up there on the side of that mountain too. Besides Dab's Hope. See, it just can't stay on the target. It's like traction control. There's no traction control. Our cars have better traction control than the game's SRVs. It's pretty bad. Probably gonna have to take a break in a few minutes. That something's coming up, I think. I'll have to check on. This is probably a good break spot. Well, I'm back. Just went for a break. I did set up the resolution just a little bit higher. It's just dark. Now the mountains have a little more texture to them. But we'll go back if we have to. Went to medium VR. Because you're seeing basically what I'm seeing. But we want to fill both our raw materials and our manufactured materials up while we're here at Dab's Hope. For material gathering, this is probably my favorite place to go if I'm going to do that kind of stuff. Which I have to. We don't have a choice but to do that kind of stuff. If you want to upgrade your ships, you're kind of forced into it. There's slower, more difficult ways of doing it. I don't think I want to do the slower, more difficult ways. I think I would rather do the faster ways. Turn around just to see what the strongest signal is. There is an outcrop back over here. Outcrop seems to give a little bit more material, and it takes a little bit for the sensors to populate, so if I'd have waited, probably wouldn't have had to go this other direction. We do have 4 SRVs. We have 3 that are full of fuel and all of that, and we can even refuel from material. We don't even have to call down the ship for another SRV. The materials are very important, or when you're bounty hunting and your heat goes way up and you use a heat sink, you can create a heat sink while you're out shooting things through synthesis through the materials. So the materials are still very important. They're almost as important as credits. Be sure to consider helping the channel with a free subscription that you have. And there's 3 of them. You see they're yellow. Those are outcrops. We'll hit this one over here and then we'll go after those other 2. But subscribe and donate and join our Patreon. If you ever want to see more videos again, as we used to do them. But it got to where it wasn't worth it. So we don't do as many as we used to, or if we do, it goes into a pre-release. And we release them later. And this is a come-along set. We're not taking suggestions anymore. It's just whatever I need the most. No matter how many videos it takes. It's just what we need the most. Yeah, there's a polonium. Like I said, I hadn't seen those before. And then I looked them up and it was kind of a rare material. Well, they're here now. Is this right? Go down to polonium. We have 51 of 150 right now. I just think it's kind of odd. I just don't remember seeing them. Might be something up here on the hill. Could be one that we had already shot. Yeah, kind of looks that way. And we used to go check those upper level signals out, but we don't do that much anymore. Because it's just stingers, skimmers, and mining outposts and things like that. But that doesn't really help what I need. It's just like I can do bounty hunting. Now that doesn't really help. I mean, it helps the combat rating, but it would take forever to get to elite. I'm like 48 or 49% competent is all I am. Just take forever. I still want to do some of that, but it's not a high priority. Because I proved to myself I could at least do it. Especially after I finish with cargo missions. We'd never be completely finished with it, but because of the 25 million a week upkeep on the fleet carrier, you always have to create credits. And I keep getting comments of how terrible that is. It is terrible. I'm right there with you. Tell me, I know. It is. It's terrible. There's a lot of this game that's just terrible. That 25 million a week upkeep cost is terrible. I mean, there's a few really cool parts of this game, but there's sure a whole lot of bad. Interdictions are bad, the stuck throttles are bad, the fleet carrier upkeep charge is bad. There's a lot of bad. And as my viewers know, I'm not shy of talking about it, that it's bad. Now, if you stick with it and do a little bit at a time, over time, you'll have a ton of credits. You'll have a fleet carrier. You'll have 13 ships like I've got. See, I've got 4 cutters and 4 pythons, all decked out and mainly engineered, and Vulture and a Fer-de-Lance and the original Sidewinder, and all the SRVs, and even colored the same as the ships. And I got 2 elite statuses. I've got Trade Elite and Explorer Elite, and I'm only competent at combat. And I don't see that changing a whole lot anytime soon on the combat. Maybe get to the Expert, which I think's the next one. Then you got Master, and you got Deadly, or Dangerous, and Deadly, then Elite, then maybe Elite. There's quite a few steps before Elite, and it just takes forever to get there. Now I get bored at this too, but it sure is relaxing. I don't have anybody shooting at me as long as I'm not shooting skimmers and stingers, and it takes too many to make 1% anyway. Just go out and shoot rocks and collect materials. Now Dav's Hope gets a little boring faster than raw materials. This might be the last one we do before in this video, and then we'll do another one. We'll do at least one more raw material before we go do some more manufactured materials. I mean, yeah. It's like ice, and I can hit the brakes, and look how fast I stop. I should have slid all the way to those mountains. Base, look at that. Look how it slides. Barely touch it. See, it's not really realistic, but I can stop within a few feet. Yeah, it's not realistic. There's a lot of parts of this game that are not realistic. Not even close. That's part of my complaints too. You can't pick and choose which parts you want to be realistic and others you want it to be pirate fantasy. You know, it's just nuts. It would be different if I'm the only person complaining, but just go to the Frontiers forum and watch all the people that complain about stuff. It's probably 75% of people on that forum's complaining about something. It's because they play other games and they have more options to settings and mods that are allowed and things to customize your game to your playing style. But not Elite Dangerous. No, you have to play the way they want you to play, not the way you want to play. So that's probably where most of the complaints come from. That's where my complaints come from. I like to pick and choose the things I have to deal with, not because the management at Elite Dangerous decides how I have to play. Well, I can complain then, and I will. I'll keep complaining forever and ever. Yeah, my complaining will never end because Frontier won't change. So they're going to have to put up with it forever. It's because the potential is so great for this game. It could be in the top 10 of games if they would just listen to the players. But they refuse to listen to the players, so since they refuse, that's what happens. But since these are come-along videos, you hear whatever my mood is for the day, whatever's aggravating me for the day. And there's always something in the game that's aggravating me. So you get to hear it. You can turn down the volume though if you wish. You don't have to hear it. I think the come along aspect of my videos, I think it's really more my style for you just to come along, and I do a commentary, and if I decide not to post that video, that's fine. If I do, that's fine. So I've spent probably a week of just recording videos without publishing anything or without editing anything. I just mark the file of what it is, and I'll go back when I need some videos to post and edit them and schedule them to be posted. So that's why if you want to know where the fleet carrier is at that very moment, check inera.cz under Galaxy System and Stations, and then Fleet Carriers, and type RGFC into the search. It'll tell you where it's at that moment. Don't just assume because the video you watch, that's where it's at. Don't assume that. It's probably not there. Because I don't publish the videos anymore right after I create them. That all changed when I started figuring that less than 1% of our viewers were subscribing. It's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Too much work. Now when I feel like it, I'll go get on and think about what do I need the most, and do the commentary with it, and complain a little bit of what's aggravating me and all that kind of stuff. And then mark those videos. And then when I need a video to post, then I can go ahead and edit that one and post it. It actually works better for me. Yeah, they usually put a rock right on the other side of a hill, so you run into it. See, I feel like Frontier only does things to aggravate me, and it works. I'm always aggravated at Frontier, always. But I do think they do it on purpose just because they know it's going to bother me. Yeah, means that I got a meeting coming up. Probably heard that tone. I'm an on-call technician. On-call 24/7, 365. And I get to play games in between, so that's pretty good. Well, not all in between. They give you projects to work on, and I have to work on those, but I'm caught up. The tone means I probably got 30 minutes, and it's probably one of the senior managers that's trying to justify his existence, so he has to create a meeting. One of those that puts everybody to sleep. That's what most of the meetings are about, just justifying somebody's existence. So me, I fix stuff. I like to fix stuff. So I like being a technician. So when it's broke, I fix it. And I kind of like that. It doesn't pay great, but should pay a whole lot more. Especially when you see Mahomes that plays for Kansas City makes $500 million. I asked my boss, why doesn't my job pay that kind of money? He didn't want to answer that. I said, too bad my job don't pay that. It'd be a whole lot of fun. But unfortunately, we live paycheck to paycheck, and there's absolutely nothing left over. Yeah, we were hoping YouTube would help eventually, but nope, we're finding out real fast it's not. It would take 7 years to make pennies per month. If then. Because you have to do all that stuff every year. So yeah, it probably would never happen. So because on hours watched it would take about 2.5 years, and you have to do all of that every 12 months. So it would probably never happen. So yep. So the videos are strictly to keep me from being bored. Just do a commentary to keep me awake. It's like when you're on a road trip and your spouse or somebody's in the front seat and you can talk to them to stay awake. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. That's why I have come along videos, so you can help me stay awake. Y'all like the SRV? Oh yeah. I like that. It slides like crazy, and you can hit the brakes and it'll stop within feet. So it's not very realistic. And as you know, there's a whole lot more that aggravates me in this game. Just one of many. Now on No Man's Sky and Subnautica, you can run out of things to do really fast. Those are really cool games. But it's not as easy just to go do a video. I probably could do some come along videos in No Man's Sky and Subnautica. And I probably will. It's not that we get that many viewers on those videos. We're starting to get a few more on No Man's Sky. It is a good game. Especially for me, I use the save editor in No Man's Sky for a few things, and that allows you to customize your gameplay. Yeah, I like being able to do that. I just wish in Elite Dangerous we could customize our gameplay based on what we like to do. But when the new DLC comes out next year, I'll wait for a sale. And then I'll probably get it. But I probably won't do videos on it. Well, we should call it as soon as we hit these few in this immediate area. And then start up another video. Seeing if there's anything close. Okay. Please consider helping the channel in some way by donations, by your subscription, by joining our Patreon, putting tritium in the fuel tank of RG-FC. And until the next video, thank you for watching. Goodbye.